Mr. Chairman, members, my name is Will Adams. I'm the Vice President of Legislative Affairs for Texas Trial Lawyers Association, and we are here opposed to the bill. What we are talking about in this bill are construction defects, which are very often and probably most often latent defects, which means they're inherently hard to discover or be revealed over time through nature or otherwise. We're talking about things like water seepage through roofs, windows and doors, siding and stucco deficiencies. We're talking about things like slab leaks or cracks, faulty drainage, inadequate firewall protection. These are things that don't crop up in 5 years. Very often they don't crop up in 10, but that's the line that we have drawn thus far, and I would urge that we not pull that line back. What we are talking about are millions upon millions of homes and business structures that when faced with a construction defect, there is a loss in value of that structure. And to shorten that time, I think is harmful to Texas homeowners and business owners. Our system is based on a wrongdoer shouldering the burden and responsibility, not the innocent homeowner or business. And our position is that a 5-year statute of repose would, in most cases, immunize the responsible party. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for Mr. Adams? Okay. Mr. Schofield?
Could you go over the examples you gave again of the, unless you just did them off the top of your head, of the types of, I know you said slabs. What were some of the other things you thought would take a long time?
I'll give you the entire list if you like, Representative Schofield. Water seepage through roofs, windows, doors, siding and stucco deficiencies, slab leaks or cracks, faulty drainage, inadequate firewall protection is one that struck me deeply. You know,
it seemed like most of them, particularly the slab and the drainage, some of the drainage, some of those sound more like construction defects than architectural. And this bill, as I understand it, applies just to architects, engineering, interior designs, and landscape architects. I think construction defects wouldn't be any statute of repose that we may have for construction defects. I don't think is covered by this bill.
If I'm reading Section 3 correctly, it includes construction of an improvement to real property.
But if you read Section 1, the defendants that we're talking about, these are the bill applies to suits against a licensed architect, engineer, interior designer, or landscape architect. So I don't think you'd have a cause of action against any of them for the physical construction problems done by the folks who actually laid the slab.
In the list that I've just given you, they may not apply to those. I can't come up with an example for an interior designer, frankly.
I don't think anybody can.
I could possibly come up with one for a landscape architect, but more the architect and the design of the building, that sort of thing. But it certainly applies these things to construction of the improvement.
And I wouldn't, again, to the extent that the construction was done improperly, I'm not sure that this bill affects that, unless the architect actually, unless his dad is a construction company and he goes to work for him in the summers. I'm not sure that would apply. And, y'all can demonstrate that I'm incorrect, but I'm not sure it does.
And that's something I'll look closer at, Representative. Thank you.
Mr. Rinaldi.
So one of the sections in here, I guess 16.008, this only applies to claims under section 16.008, correct? So it only applies to a suit for injury, damage, or loss to real or personal property, personal injury, wrongful death, contribution, or indemnity, right?
Point me to where you're reading from and I'll follow you.
I'm sorry, I'm looking at the statute 16.008, which is the statute it amends.
There we
What's
go.
left out is subsection B because it doesn't amend it, but I just want to, so this doesn't apply to breach of contract claims or warranty claims, correct?
It does not appear to.
Right. Okay. So if, I guess my slab's defective and it cracks and I have a 10-year warranty, I could still bring the breach of warranty claim after 10 years, or within 10 years, sorry, but after 5.
I'm not following your hypothetical.
My hypothetical is if it's a contract or a warranty claim, I can still theoretically bring it a warranty claim if I have a 10-year warranty and it's just the slab cracks, or it's economic damages to me because I didn't get what I bargained for. Is that correct?
Depends on who the defendant is that we're talking about, or the wrongdoer.
Why does it depend on that?
Well, if there's no contract with the architect, there's not going to be a breach of contract claim.
Right. But what I'm saying is the homeowner who has injury to economic damage because something was constructed improperly, this statute of repose doesn't apply to that. It only applies to personal injury, wrongful death, contribution, indemnity, and injury, damage, or loss to real property.
And
so we're talking about tort claims, basically, right?
well, injury, damage, or loss to real or personal property would be to the structure.
Right, but that's a separate claim, though, from a breach of contract claim. Does that apply, has that ever been found to include breach of contract claims in the existing statute? Do you know?
I don't see this as being a breach of contract focused piece of legislation.
Or breach of warranty, right?
Not a breach of warranty expert, but I would suppose that would flow from that.
Yeah. Thank you.
Any other question? Thank you very much, Mr. Adams.